and welcome to my kitchen. I am working on a gingerbread house for the West Volusia Historical Society Gingerbread Contest. So first of all, I downloaded off of the website delandhouse.com my registration form as well as the contest rules. So I want to give you a couple of tips for some very easy and simple ways that you can make a gingerbread house or your kids can make a gingerbread house. And just remember, we want to keep it simple and keep it small. So I decided to use this Betty Crocker gingerbread cookie mix. I tried it and it worked beautifully. First thing you do with this, follow the instructions on the back of the package. Mix up your dough, and then importantly, after you have it all well mixed, put it in your refrigerator for at least an hour. You can even leave it in there overnight. While that is chilling, you want to work on your template, your pattern for your gingerbread house. I did mine here in paper, and you can do it very simply. This is the roof. This is the pattern for the sides. So this is just going to be very simple little house. You can do it like this. You don't even have to have a peaked roof. You can do it essentially like a square. Now, keep in mind, for kids under 16 years old, this is the base. This is the size. So you can only make a very, very small little house to go on here. So play around with some ideas. Make yourself some paper patterns, some paper little houses, and once your gingerbread mix is chilled, you want to roll it out, and you want to roll it pretty thick. Mine, I made easily at least 1/4 of an inch thick. Now, here's another tip. I put paper, parchment paper on my cookie sheet, and I rolled out my dough on my cookie sheet. And then once it was all rolled out, I laid out my patterns on the dough, and with a knife, I cut out the general shapes. I did not cut out the doorways or the windows yet. The reason that I rolled it out on my cookie sheet is because then I took my cookie sheet with the pieces and I put it right in the oven and baked it. You don't want to move these pieces when it's just dough because it can crack and break. So I went ahead and followed the instructions on the back for baking, which it says, I believe it said 8 to 10 minutes at 375 or 350 for a dark cookie sheet, which I had. After I baked it for 10 minutes, I turned down the temperature on the oven to 200 degrees, and I left it in there for another hour because I want this to be really hard because I don't want my cookie house to collapse. Okay, so now my cookie has been baked, and when I took it out of the oven, I then used a knife and I cut out my door openings, I cut out some window openings, and as you can see, it's a little rough, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's fine. We're just having fun. So now that I have that ready, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some royal icing. You can find royal icing recipes all over the internet and probably in your cookbooks as well. Now when it's time to start assembling, I want to assemble it on my cake board. And when you register for this contest, you will be given the appropriate cake board. Individuals 15 and younger will get this size. If you're doing a group, if you have a couple of kids together or a family, you'll get this larger board. And then anyone 16 years and older will get the larger board, groups or individuals. So you want to plan the size of your house according to your base. Now, before I start assembling, I'm going to either cover my base either with foil, or I might tape waxed paper on it. I might use parchment paper, but I suggest that you cover your board. Once you have your board covered and ready, then you can start assembling your house. And you would take 2 adjacent sides, stand them up, and you can use jars or drinking glasses to prop them up and hold them. And then you're going to use royal icing, and use it generously. We're not checking for neatness here. And you want to go up that joined seam, and I will even be sticking mine down onto the board. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to cover mine with foil or something, so that it doesn't seep into the cardboard. So you do that and leave a jar or something so these things will stand up straight. And it takes at least an hour for the royal icing to really set up. Once it has set up and it's nice and hard and these pieces are standing up on their own, then you can add your third and your fourth walls. Oh gosh, I put a roof over there. Well, anyway, third and fourth walls, do the same thing. And then you might want to wait overnight and let this thing just set and really harden before you put your roof on. And the roof will do the same thing. You're going to put a lot of royal icing on there, and you're just going to stick it on. Royal icing is your glue. It's your friend. And feel free to glob it on as much as you want. Now, as for decorating, you don't have to cover this whole thing with candy or little crackers or pretzels or pasta or whatever you want to use. You can decorate it as little or as much as you want. This is totally up to you. And the whole point of this is to have fun. Now, one note is if you are 16 years or older, we are asking that your building, that you put on one of these larger boards, yours be a gingerbread model of a historic building. Now, that can be a house. That can be a house located anywhere. It doesn't have to be a house here in town. It doesn't have to be your house. It could be any house. It could also be a commercial building. It could be a store, whatever you want. It could be an old barn that you have seen or you have a picture of. But we ask that you then include, when you turn in your entry, that you include a picture of that building so we can see what it is. But don't hesitate to simplify the lines of the building. Simplify as much as you want. Keep it small, and most importantly, have fun. I will be posting online a list of tips for you about gingerbread, and feel free to have a look at those and get in touch with us at the West Volusia Historical Society if you have any questions. Oh, one other note is for very young kids, and you'll see this in our rules, you can construct your gingerbread house actually out of graham crackers. So graham cracker squares, and then royal icing to hold it together, and maybe one large gingerbread graham cracker piece across the top for your roof, and you've got it, and then just decorate it any way you wish. So have fun, and be sure to register for this contest. All the entries will be on display at Christmas in Bloom, which is our new holiday event on Saturday, November 28th. We will be out at the beautiful Select Growers Garden Center on Route 11 in De Leon Springs, and you will be turning in your entries either the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and then Christmas in Bloom is Saturday, right after Thanksgiving. Hope to see you there.